Today we're going to talk about the Schrade Schf36. Stick around. What's up, YouTube? Thanks for watching. It's PA Outdoors. So today I've got the SCHF36. I bought this knife almost a year ago. Have used it exclusively for 4 or 5 months. Several camping trips, lots of outdoors hiking. So I got this obviously before I started the channel, so there's no first impressions video, so we're going to go over kind of everything here. First let's go over the specs of this knife. Then we'll talk about what was done, how it performed, and so forth. So it is a 1095 high carbon steel blade, full tang, about 1/4 of an inch thick. The blade length is 5.05 inches long. Overall length, 10.5 inches long. The weight with the sheath is 12.96 ounces. It is a drop point. The handle is TPE, which is kind of a hard rubber plastic. I'm not exactly sure. Includes this finger choil, spine, and grip jimping. The sheath is a nylon with a plastic insert inside of the nylon, which is held in by this rivet with a snap around the handle and this Velcro strap for your belt, which is nice. You don't need to take your belt off to put this knife on and off. And part of the package includes Schrade fire steel and striker and a diamond sharpening stone. And this all came in the package. I don't remember what I paid, but I know right now on Amazon this package is $27.40. So let's go over a few modifications I did. First of all, I bought the knife. It comes with a real heavy, almost automotive undercoating type coating all over the blade. The knife is made in, I believe, Taiwan, so that's probably put on there so it can survive the long boat ride over in the salt air to avoid rust, because this is not stainless steel. Like I said, it's 1095. So it had that coating on it. Just after a day of use, that coating was just starting to, and it wasn't starting to wear, it was actually starting to flake off in big chunks. So first thing I did after I got back was I stripped the blade down. I took the handles off and used some heavy duty kind of paint stripper and strip that all off. And this knife does need cleaned up from all the use. Usually once I do that, I just get a package of those REM oil wipes, and I just wipe down all my high carbon steel blades to keep them from rusting, and this one definitely needs a good cleaning. Another thing I did, the striker came with a pretty flimsy cordage holding the striker onto the ferro rod. I almost immediately changed that out for some 550 fire cord. I did have to drill the hole slightly bigger in the handle of the fire rod and the ferro rod. No big deal. Cord slipped right through. I think that made that a little better package. I just didn't trust the flimsy cordage they used. Sharpening stone works really well. No complaints about this at all. It works very well, especially in the field, to get a quick edge back on the knife. Again, the sheath is nice. No complaints about it, other than one, which I'll get to here in a moment. How did it perform? did great. I do have some video footage of me doing some batoning and some feather sticking, and it's actually the knife I'm using in the intro when you watch the intro. You know, it's heavy enough. It's a decent chopper. Being able to choke up like this on the choil, you can actually do some really nice fine work with it. I made a few things with this knife. It's just, you know, some notches, tent pole, tent pegs, several things, and I really liked how the blade performed. No complaints about it. The weight of it, you know, chopping limbs, chopping down saplings, it does a phenomenal job. The shape of the handle makes this knife very comfortable in the hand. It's not over, I don't have huge hands, and just the handle itself, I like the way it feels size-wise. It does have removable scales, a lanyard hole, so you can put, I just put like kind of a pinky lanyard on there, again with some fire cord, which I love. Edge retention is decent, being 1095. It doesn't last as long as like stainless steel does, but being 1095, it makes putting an edge back on it really easy. The weight of the blade, it's not real top heavy. It's got a pretty good center of balance. If I can find it here, it's right about there. It's not bad. Like I said, I used this thing, 4 months or so, and it did great. But I do have some complaints about the knife. First, I complain about the sheath. It's a good sheath. The nylon's not real thick, but it serves a purpose. It holds in there really well. Leave that out of the way. That plastic, that rattles around a little bit, but the strap is good. It's got good retention. It does move a little bit, and kind of angled so it fits in there real nicely. And that's my problem. I'm left-handed. The sheath is really designed for right-hand carry only. It does go in the opposite direction for left-handed, but it goes in like that. You've got, almost an inch of the blade exposed. It does snap. The retention is actually better being left-handed. I don't like it. I don't like that showing. It annoys me. So, necessity being the mother of invention, I made a leather sheath for it. I could have bought one, $50 or more for a custom leather sheath. I'm no leather craftsman. This is the first sheath I ever made. But I had to make it, feel comfortable carrying the knife. Again, no leather craftsman, but it fits the bill. It works. I put a lanyard on there and put another ferro rod on there because I'm not crafted enough or skilled enough to make some sort of pouch or something to hold these other items. So I just went this route. It does have a 90-degree spine, so you can strike the ferro rod with the spine. However, I've noticed that a couple other of my blades, the thicker blades like this one, they kind of really tear up a ferro rod. They put kind of wavy ridges in it. I don't know if it's my technique using this knife or what, but I got a Becker BK2 that does the same thing, and obviously it's as wide as this one. Another complaint I have: spine and grip jimping. I mean, that's a feature that they put on their website as being just a great feature. It's not. The jimping there is worthless. If I want jimping up here. And all this does is make this knife very uncomfortable to use for extended period times with a bare hand. I almost always use gloves when I'm working with knives, but if you had to use this for long periods of time with out gloves, man, that stuff just creates so many hot spots here and right in the fleshy part of your back of your hand, the inside of your hand. I'm not a fan. If someone made, or if someone again was handy enough to make their own scales, I would definitely make scales that would cover up this whole area. They kind of cut it down to expose that jimping. I would create handles that went right over there. Same thing with down here, either out of a hardwood or micarta. That would make the knife extremely comfortable in the hand. But as it is right now, not being gloved, like I said, the shape is great. I love the shape. But these just tear your hand up. So that's that. Another issue I had with the knife is really, so the knife I purchased here recently to kind of, not necessarily replace this, but I really like the design of the knife and I wanted to give it a try, so I've used it here a couple of weeks and it's made me realize one thing. I like a thinner knife blade. This is great for chopping, and the knife I've kind of swapped this one out for isn't as good of a chopper because it's not as heavy, but I think I can do more. I think a thinner blade is a little more useful as far as some of the more detailed work, making feather sticks, and I'm not the greatest feather stick maker in the world either, but I struggled with this blade and I just assumed it was my technique, and then I did some with another blade and the one that I'm replacing this out with, and I made much better feather sticks with those two blades than I did with this one. And I don't know if it's, again, my technique or the thickness of the blade. One good thing is this is 1095, so you can strike flint off of this and create sparks. You can't do that with a stainless steel blade. So if Schrade got rid of this jimping, made an ambidextrous sheath, which I hate so many production knives for because they don't make an ambidextrous sheath. So you spend $27.40 for a knife, but if you're left-handed, you've got to go out and you've got to either deal with being, right-hand carry, or you've got to spend some more money and either make your own sheath or buy one custom made, where you're going to, at the very least, double the investment of the knife. So I guess that's a handicap for us left-handed people, but I guess we've grown to learn that. If you ever spend any time in an elementary school desk that's right hand only, you feel our pain. So, what's he getting replaced with? Kind of a sneak peek here. I'll be doing a first impression video, but the Gerber Strong Arm. Thinner, lighter, smaller blade, a true ambidextrous sheath, but we'll go over that in a separate video. So, the Schrade Schf36. Final thoughts? It is a great budget blade. For under $30, you can get yourself a knife that is, with the thickness of the blade, you're not going to hurt that blade. You're not going to bend it. The point held up just great with all my use. Takes a great edge. So, like I said, under $30, you're getting a great woods knife, camp knife, comfortable handle shape. If you're a guy that always wears gloves dealing with knives, these won't bother you whatsoever. Yeah, I don't think you're going to find a better blade for under $30, a better fixed blade for under $30. I really don't. It's made in Taiwan, but Schrade does some really good work with their overseas knives. Actually, all their knives are made overseas, but they're just a good blade. You take that coating off, which took me 20 minutes, a half an hour tops. And you can find videos on how guys do that with the Schrades and with some of the Beckers. Very simple to do. So yeah, I would definitely, for the price, I would definitely recommend that blade. I would have no problem suggesting it to anyone looking for a budget fixed blade knife. So, there you have it. That's all I've got on it. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that. Get outside, have fun out there, but please be safe.